The question is this: is ignorance and incompetence as dangerous as actual malice? I'm going to explain that statement because a series of statements now coming out of the Secret Service and experts on the matter of the Trump attempted assassination has blown the story wide open. As you see on your screen, and we would have expected nothing less, Secret Service director says she will not resign after attempted Trump assassination. What I'm about to present to you will make that one of the most horrific abominations of a statement that can ever be made. Her resignation should have been immediate. Coming out of this Fox News article, Secret Service director acknowledges responsibility for failure to buck stops with me. What does she state? And before I go further, know also that Jill Biden was in the same area. Did you know that? I'll explain what I mean by that. It's a very important statement here. United States Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle acknowledged in an interview the responsibility for the security failure that led to the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump ultimately rests with herself. But I'm not going to resign, she states. The buck stops with me, she told ABC News on Tuesday morning. The director acknowledged the incident never should have happened. Never should have happened. And confirmed that the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, had been identified as a person of interest. Had been identified as a person of interest. But by the time Crooks was located, it was too late to stop his bullets. The shooter was actually identified as a potential person of suspicion, she said. Unfortunately, with the rapid succession of how things unfolded, by the time that the individual was actually eventually located, they were on the rooftop and were able to fire off at the former president. Now, how was he allowed to do that? What series of events, this will relate back to Jill Biden, could have caused the Secret Service to not either have the right personnel or be able to identify quick enough the shooter on a white roof in the middle of the day? Cheadle told ABC News her first reaction to the shooting was shock. She also said the Secret Service was aware of the security vulnerabilities, which I presented to you yesterday, of that building that Crooks took his sniper position on and took aim at Trump. However, a decision was made not to place any personnel or, it appears, surveillance on the roof. Is ignorance and incompetence as dangerous or more dangerous than malice? She also said the Secret Service was aware of the security vulnerabilities presented by the building Crooks took a sniper position to aim at Trump. However, decision, again, not made to put anybody on the roof. That building in particular had a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered that we wouldn't want to put anybody up on a sloped roof. Never minding the safety factor that you allowed somebody to take direct aim at President Donald J. Trump. Ignore that. Because I'm sure a trained sniper or security agent would have said, no, that roof's a little too dangerous for me. I wouldn't want to go out there and secure the president. Give me a break. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from the inside. New reports coming out that there was actually agents inside the building. I'm looking for further substantiation on that. But right now, initial reports. Do you know the relationship here between Cheadle and Jill Biden? Did you know Jill Biden was at Pittsburgh on Saturday to attend Italian Sons and Daughters of America dinner the same day? And do you know what the cascading effect of that may have been in Pittsburgh on Saturday, the same day this all occurred? And how it relates to the Secret Service and potentially their inability, inaction, ignorance, or incompetence to act appropriately to stop a direct threat. And that is the result. And that is the story I'm going to bring you here in just 1 minute. Friends, I need your support, as always, to continue to bring you these broadcasts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel or you think you're subscribed, please double check. Make sure you subscribe here. More important to me is that your support continues these broadcasts from coming. As you notice, I don't put advertisers or sponsors on my videos. Your way of supporting me is at Restricted Republic, the platform Lisa Haven and I created just for you, to bring you the news unfiltered, uncensored. It's where our live broadcasts go up. It's where we discuss one-on-one with our audience and answer all your questions. It's audience-funded news. No sponsors, no commercials. It was our hard-earned dollars that built that platform, and your support that continues it moving forward. I can't tell you the growth we have seen over the last 72 hours as people realize how important real news is when you have events like this occur, to make sure you get your facts straight. Right now, use discount code INDEPENDENCE at monthly checkout. Remember, you can cancel anytime. We give you 14 days for free to check out the platform. You have your own dashboard. If you don't like what you see, cancel. But I know you won't. Discount code INDEPENDENCE will get you $4 a month each month for 2 years. That's our commitment to you, to assure that you understand why we created the platform and how important it is for you to hear real news, unfiltered, uncensored, no interruptions, beholden to no one but our audience. I need you there today. There is so much going on. And Lisa's going to bring you an exclusive video like we do every day with information you can't get anywhere else. RestrictedRepublic.com. Get there today. But now let's get back to the story. First, a few shout-outs. We told you this was coming. We told you the appointment of Jack Smith was unconstitutional. And now we've been proven factual once again. And he deserves this. He deserves way more than this as this witch hunt has continued on. Also, congratulations to J.D. Vance, now announced as the vice presidential pick of President Donald J. Trump. At the convention, everything, of course, went crazy, and it should. Some people already shouting, what happened to DEI with that appointment? Well, DEI did not win in this appointment. It chose, or Trump chose, what he felt was the best candidate for the job. Because there's dangers in all of this. There's dangers in ignorance and incompetence when the most qualified individuals aren't appointed to the correct positions. We've seen this time and time again. From airline travel all the way through to what many are calling out the Secret Service's inability to stop an event that should have been stopped immediately, an assassination attempt that should never have occurred. But we're going to drill further in this. First, didn't take Biden not even 24 hours to, well, listen in here.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well, I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says?
He couldn't stop himself for 24 hours. We're back to threats of democracy. Many stating that those statements are incendiary and incite a reaction from those not stable enough to comprehend what they actually mean. He didn't stop there. Here's the deal about J.D. Vance coming off of Joe Biden's X post. He talks a big game about working people, but now he and Trump want to raise taxes on middle-class families with pushing more tax cuts for the rich. What does he put in the bottom? Protect democracy. Still isolating these men as threats. Not counter politicians, not counter narrative, not counter policy. Threats. It doesn't stop. They couldn't even hold back merely 24 hours, but they're not the ones that incite violence. Of course not. Oh, wait. Statements from Joe Biden himself. If we were in high school, I'd take him, Trump, behind the gym and beat the hell out of him, he stated. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremist that threatens extremism, that threatens the very foundations of our republic. That's Hitler language. That's not America's. Imagine somebody not stable enough to comprehend these statements, who thinks in their mind that they may be stopping Hitler. That's how dangerous these are when you make these comparisons. We saw now what happens. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for, Biden stated. 6/28 of 2024. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Oh, he counters that here in just a second in that same interview. Trump is a threat to this nation time and time and time again. That was July 12th, just a few days ago.
You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that
I didn't say
words matter.
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's.
The worst backpedal that's ever been recited, the most shameful retort that's ever been given. Trying to explain away what you said, trying to cover for what occurred, it's not enough. But let's go back to this story and this strange, unusual connection. Her stating, again, Kimberly Cheadle, that she won't resign. Can't believe that even occurred. How'd she land the job? Well, it was pushed by Jill Biden's office. Did you know that? It was an appointment by President Biden, pushed by Jill Biden. And how did that go down? Exactly. These photos, still amazing to me to watch. Well, it came from one of his own aides, the one I just covered for you, one of which was subpoenaed by the House Oversight Committee. In the subpoena, it stated, and the gentleman in question is Anthony Burnell. You see him there. Joe Biden and her top advisor, Anthony Burnell, who pushed the appointment of Cheadle. Within his subpoena, it states, now the committee is concerned that Mr. Burnell may be running interference on behalf of the president, but down lower is the most important statement. The committee is concerned that Mr. Burnell appears to be one of several White House staffers who have taken it upon themselves to run the country while the president cannot. Joe Biden staffer, top advisor, pushing for Cheadle's appointment, recommending it, and his focus has been and will always be DEI. And many people now calling that out as a potential element of the failure to secure President Donald J. Trump. Burnell 51 is widely regarded as rivaling even White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients in terms of influence over administrative decisions. He has faced allegations of bullying and sexual harassment from colleagues who have likened his sway to that of Russian mystic Grigory Rasputin over the Romanov court. Anthony is obsessed with being DEI compliant. A third source told the Post, using the acronym for diversity, equity, inclusion, and human resource practice of attempting to ensure diversity in the workforce. Well, when you make decisions like that, and tragedies like the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump occur, everything gets called into question. Cheadle to be in front of the House today to testify. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and former President Donald J. Trump campaigning in Pittsburgh on the same day. Jill Biden was in the same area. The problem with that is that now Secret Service sources, under conditions of anonymity, are citing they were diverted to Jill Biden's event and away from Trump's because they followed agency protocol applying to Trump as a former president. Not the full security detail, but it gets worse. According to two sources within the Secret Service community, there was also many supplemental agents from different field offices, not Trump's regular detail, providing security at the rally because Trump's regular detail had been overworked, some working 7 days straight, and only 2 counter snipers. Because Joe Biden landed in the same area. It appears now, at least it's being called into question, that the appropriate resources were diverted, which will call into question, did Cheadle make a friendship/political decision over a security decision? But Trump is not just a former president. He is the first in modern history to have run for president again. And he has been the focus of several prosecutions and controversies. Who made the decision to divert the resources to the Jill Biden event? That's a major question. But it goes on. I'm told that the only permanent agent from Trump's detail during the rally was Special Agent in Charge Kern. Two sources within the Secret Service community told her. All others were temps. Temps. Ignorance and incompetence. Non-qualified individuals failing to protect President Donald J. Trump. Pittsburgh USSS field office had a Jill Biden visit and designated a lot of resources to her, the sources said. Also, the advance work only occurred 1 day beforehand because a lack of resources. Where were the resources? The Pittsburgh USSS field office had a Jill Biden visit and designated a lot of resources to her. That's effing unbelievable, the source stated. You gotten this news anywhere else? So I ask for your support. Why we need your support. We dig deep for these things. Another Secret Service source says approval for the counter sniper team was only granted the day before the rally. And that is not enough time for a two-man team to do the appropriate survey, leaving a roof unsecured, no agents on top, the normal security detail diverted or given off. Temp security detail put in place. Shots fired. Trump millimeters away from not being here anymore. Is that enough ignorance and incompetence for you? Does that paint this story a little bit more black and white? That's nowhere near enough time. A site like that should have had at least 3 Secret Service counter snipers teams at the very least. Secret Service coming out, stating, the spokesman for the Secret Service, there's an untrue assertion that a member of the former president's team requested additional security resources and those were rebuffed. This is absolutely false. Except Trump has requested the full security detail multiple times, and that has been rebuffed. As a matter of fact, didn't someone try to pull the security detail down entirely? It's amazing when you watch these stories develop. The GOP was investigating Secret Service before assassination attempt, but once again, an investigation that resulted in nothing too little, too late. But it all goes back to the heart of this story. Former White House, sorry about that, as it goes away. It goes back to the story. And let me just go back to where we were, because it's such an important detail to understand that the FBI, who led the investigation, appointed by Joe Biden, recommended by Jill Biden's top advisor, the one who now says she will not resign, diverted resources away from President Donald J. Trump. Ignorance and incompetence, it appears, may have played a major role in what occurred. And do you deem that as acceptable? I most certainly did not, and I do not, and I will not. And it's why I want to give you always the facts and basis behind what is developing. I avoid conjecture, conspiracy at all costs. When there is facts like this that may go to explain everything. More to follow as they investigate this further, as the FBI has now taken over the investigation. Many concerned about that, but the FBI is not going to want to look bad on this. They fully well know Trump will be in office. And to fail on this investigation could have catastrophic consequences for them down the road. So I hope and I pray for a fair investigation. Because the quotes are there. The director herself stating, now agents coming out and confirming everything we had feared. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.